Hi everybody, Daniel Moore, osteopath here, all dressed in black. Hopefully you can see what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm basically going to share with you the little workouts that I'm doing for myself, for my own personal fitness, whilst I'm on lockdown here in New Zealand. So I'm going to get on today and do a little piece of work for my ankles, knees and hips. What I'm going to be doing is simply loosening them up and getting them to feel kind of limber and flexible. It's going to be a real straightforward and simple routine that I'm going to show you, and I invite you to either watch the routine or, if you prefer, even just join in with me, because what I'm going to do is going to be simple, straightforward and safe, and I'd love to know that it's of some use to you. So we begin with the feet shoulder width apart, and we're simply going to raise one heel up so the weight comes to the ball of the foot. We're going to come down, we're going to do the same to the other side. Then we're going to kind of put it together as if we're walking on the spot. Now in New Zealand we are allowed to go out and actually walk in the streets, which is nice. It's a little bit weird when you see someone, you have to make sure that you're keeping social distance from them. But the good thing about this kind of stationary walk movement is that you can do it for as long as you like, and as long as you're in your own space, you don't have to worry about bumping into anyone. So from the side it kind of looks like this. There's a little resistance going down through my foot as I'm coming back. I'm not just lifting my heel up, I'm actually resisting as I go down. So there's a sense of being on the spot walking. I can't moonwalk, but if I could, it's kind of that feel. So we're getting those calf muscles working, ankle joints working, knees working and hips working. And I'm not going to do it in this particular version, but if we take this a little faster, we can start to get the heart rate going and we can actually start to jog on the spot. But maybe we'll do a video about that next time. For today, we're just going to simply walk on the spot. I do these exercises for a period of time that just seems right for me. I don't count 20 repetitions or, do it for a certain number of seconds. I just do it until I feel like changing. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this routine, exactly the way I will do it. And if you were following me in the room, I've actually got somebody in the room following me right now. It's my lovely partner in life and business, Amanda, and she's standing in front of the camera that I'm looking at. She's doing the exercises with a big smile on her face, keeping social distance, of course. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a circle now. And the idea is that you keep the weight on the ball of the foot, but you're actually going to start to create a circle with your knee. A nice big circle around. Don't go too fast. Don't get too excited with it, take it nice and easy. And think about the ankle joint really getting a workout and really getting limbered up in this movement. If you've got a weak ankle, you might feel a little bit fragile doing this, but there's no weight on this, so it's really difficult to cause any damage. And I expect if you practice doing this exercise, it's going to actually help your ankle build some confidence. Reverse the other way. I've got a sense of a little bit of downward pressure into the ball of my foot as I'm doing this. So I'm kind of creating a little bit of tension into the floor as I'm pushing down, but I'm keeping this lovely smooth circle going with my ankle. I'm going to reverse and go the other way again, because that's just what my body feels like it wants to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to give that ankle a nice little loosen up and a limber in a really flowing way. Let's change legs. So my right leg's more coordinated than my left leg, so when I do this I feel a bit kind of, not awkward, but it's not as easy for me to do it on my left leg as my right leg, because this exercise actually does require a little bit of coordination. So if you find it a bit wobbly, don't worry. I'm now reversing, going the other way. Remember to keep the ball of the foot in contact with the floor, and you're creating that lovely circular effect in your ankles. If you were a patient having a treatment and your ankle was being mobilised around in a circle, it's kind of like that effect, except you're doing it for yourself. Save money. Good thing. Put myself out of business here, but I think under the circumstances it's entirely appropriate to do so. Reverse the other way one more time. Okay. My feet are starting to feel nice and warm now. One more exercise for the feet. If any of you have been skiing, imagine you've got your skis on, bend your knees very slightly, have your feet facing forwards. If you've never been skiing before, just imagine this is your first day on the slopes. Fortunately, you're not going to fall over and hurt yourself. I want you to take your weight to the side, to the outside edge of your foot. So you're actually travelling the weight of your body across and then back. You're going to the outside edge of your foot. Just get that sense of shifting your weight and feeling your feet take the balance of your body weight from side to side. Take one foot back, 1 foot forward, and we're going to do the same thing again. So we're just getting those feet working, feeling that the balance is shifting. And now I'm going to just step forward, so I'm changing it very slightly again. So there's a sense that I'm on the outside edge, Cool. Bend your back leg, lift your toes up very slightly. Now we're just going to do a circle with the toes. The heel is on the floor. This leg's going to do a little bit of work to keep you upright, so you're toning your thigh at the same time. And this foot is doing a big circle. The toe is trying to draw a lovely smooth circle. Mine's a bit wibbly wobbly because my legs are a bit tired. So don't worry if it's not super smooth. Reverse, just circle the other way with your toe. Keeping your heel on the floor. My foot's wandering a little bit. That's fine, don't worry about it. We're not into being too strict about these exercises. And change legs. Bending this leg, pulling the toe back, weight on the heel, drawing a circle. Now I can notice a difference again with my left leg, but this isn't quite so coordinated. So it's a little bit harder work for me. I'm having to think about this, and that's a good thing because I'm getting my brain and my nervous system and my muscles to start to work together a little bit more intentionally, and this can only be positive. Reverse the circle. Excuse me. Very good. Okay. Little shake off of the feet. Shake, shake. Feet together, knees together. Hands just on top of your knees. And keeping your knees together, make a circle. Nice smooth circle with your knees. Now those ankles should be nice and warm already. Now our attention is much more into the knee rather than the ankle. If you've got dodgy knees, and by that I mean you've got a knee injury, or you've got some arthritic knee conditions, which is highly possible. 16% of the world's population experience arthritis of the knee, which is a massive number. But one thing we know is absolutely essential for knees is that they be kept moving. So I've got arthritis in my knees. I've actually got rheumatoid arthritis, confirmed on MRI, believe it or not. And I do these exercises for myself because they help me keep my knees supple. So I'm circling, and then you might notice I keep changing the direction. So don't worry if you don't know when I'm going to change direction. You decide when you want to change direction for yourself. Like I said, you don't have to do a certain number of counts. I just kind of let my body go on autopilot with these, to be honest. And if I find myself going around in one direction, I'll just change, and I'm not even really thinking about what I'm doing. It's just happening, which is really cool, and I like that. Okay, excellent. Feet shoulder width apart. I'm just going to lift, lift, lift. As I'm lifting, I'm kind of bringing my heel up to my bum a little bit. So the intention of the move is this little heel lift here, using my hamstrings, but I'm getting my knees to really flex fully. If you've got tight knees, it might feel a little bit difficult to do that. So ease off the pressure if you're finding it painful. One of my most treasured maxims for exercise is training without straining. So if your training is producing strain, then that's not my intention for you in these videos. The intention for these exercises is to restore your body. And so there should be a feeling of training, not straining. So we're just lifting those knees and bringing the heels up to the buttocks. Cool. And let's have hands on the hips, and now we're just going to circle the hips. The idea here is you're going to get your hip joints, your ball and sockets moving. There's still some work going on in the ankles. And the big focus of most of this, what we've done today, has been working with the joints. Often in exercise, it's the muscles that get all the attention. You know, we go to the gym, we do resistance work, it's really all about the muscles. We do cardiovascular work, that's really about the cardiovascular system, and the muscles have to really work hard to deliver that. These exercises I'm doing today are really all about the joints, because the joints are the parts of the structure that make all that movement possible. And I think sometimes joints don't get the amount of attention that they deserve. So I like to give a lot of attention to the joint mechanisms in the body, and reverse the other way. Again, just think about making these movements smooth, flowing, fluid, easy. There's no stress. It's just a nice, relaxed way of moving. And just like we did with the earlier exercise, we took a step forward and a step back. Let's do the same hip circle now with one leg forward and one leg back. You know, it's just a slightly different feel. And I like to do this with my hands just on the top of my thighs here for some reason, because it's helping me connect with my psoas muscles, which are the major muscles that connects the upper part of your body to the lower part of your body. They're the guy ropes, if you like, or the stays that hold your spine up. They're massively important muscles, and I'd like to do a whole exercise session on the psoas muscle, but right for now, just putting hands on here is creating a connection to those muscles, which are very, very involved, especially in times like this with stress. Just change legs. Simple circular action, just loosening up your hip joints. You're also beginning to involve your back in this. Your spine's actually getting some work going on here in this repetitive, gentle action that we're doing. Now, as I'm working here, and I'm quite used to doing it, so I'm feeling a little bit of a pinch in my back, and I'm completely comfortable with that because I know that all that's happening is that my nerve endings in my back are kind of being a little bit activated by the activity, and they're sending some signals up to my brain, and my brain's having a little kind of assessment of what's going on. It's sending some signals back, says, be careful down there. But I know that what I'm doing is safe. I know that what I'm doing is not going to cause damage. So I'm continuing to work through this, and I'm kind of allowing myself to be comfortable with that little bit of tension in my back. And I'm allowing my brain to know I'm comfortable. And I'm almost kind of having a little bit of self-talk going on, just saying to my brain, hey brain, it's all cool, this is safe, there's nothing to be alarmed or concerned about. You can stand down, no need to get the dogs barking, we're in a safe space here, we're just loosening up. And just change it sides one more time, we're just going to do that again. And if you're feeling any tension, excuse me, itchy nose, any tension in your back, just be a little self-reassuring, relax into it and know that this exercise is not going to cause you any damage. Okay, good, a little shake. Now we're going to do any more for this. What's the time? I think we'll call that a day for that little routine there. So that's ankles, knees and hips, a simple limbering exercise. I'll build on that one with you tomorrow, and I'll teach you some toning that you can do for the thighs, for the calf, maybe for the glutes, so we start to get a little bit more muscular involvement. But as for today, what you've learned is a little routine that's really good just for limbering up and loosening the joints in the lower limb.